The Eliminator, one of the most fun contests on Underdog Fantasy. I'm pretty convinced that many of the people participating in the contest are playing it poorly. Let's see if we can go 1v1 17 times and win $200,000.
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer.
All right, GM, everyone. How are we doing? I normally say it's a beautiful day outside. It is not a beautiful day outside in St. Louis, Missouri right now, but that's okay. We've got plenty of contests sitting for us in the lobby on Underdog Fantasy, but I'm ahead of the curve right now. So I have completed 27 Best Ball Manias, and we have about 95 days left to the start of the NFL season. Obviously, I want to be saving some of those bullets for a little bit closer to the season. GM, JB, GM, Jared, GM to channel member Doug. A great reminder that if you are not a member of the channel, it's a good idea to become a member of the channel. You get to hang out with us in the Discord. You get members-only videos. You get members-only streams. Great day to become a member of the Davismatic YouTube channel. Yes, very wet outside. I've got a golfing weekend coming up with my buddies from Kansas City this weekend. We have 3 rounds of golf scheduled, and it's more or less going to be like sprinkling the entire time, which I don't love, but that's okay. That's okay. So I know Peter's streaming right now. I think Coach Big Index is streaming right now as well, but got some things to do tonight. Click the button a little bit early. That's all right. We are hopping into a 20-second per pick Eliminator draft. I just really like this format. And I think that it's you know what it's like? It's like playing a cash game. I think the greatest way to think about playing the Eliminator is like playing a DraftKings cash game, right? So week 18, cash game week, the Gilcast, Peter, Nate, Sammy, myself. It's basically like playing a bunch of versions of that. It allows me to draft running backs. It allows me to not draft elite tight ends, which I'm doing a lot in Best Ball Mania. Austin, this is a 20-second clock. There you go. Testimonials. Brent Wilson. Becoming a member changed my life forever. Doug, in agreement. By the way, I believe we are still trying to fill. I think we have about 4 spots left. We are doing 2 dynasty leagues for members. So we're doing the Lauby division and the Larison division, right? Maybe we should have done a Zenner division in the Discord. But point being, if you guys want to contact Mr. Chad Candles in the Discord, if you are looking to be a replacement owner in the Dynasty Slow Auction Draft that we are doing, go to the Dynasty channel in the Discord and at Mr. Candles and let him know that you would like to be a replacement. And that would be very helpful. We drew the 110. Totally fine spot. Look at all these boomers watching on YouTube instead of Twitch. Yes, a reminder. If you have a Amazon Prime account, which, I mean, let's be honest, it is the 21st century. I think most of us have Amazon Prime. Even the anti-capitalist amongst us have the Amazon Prime account. You can go over to twitch.tv/Davismatic, and you can watch these videos in high definition, and you can watch them ad-free. So there you go. What's the entry fee for the Dynasty? I think we said $50. I believe it is a $50 entry fee for the Dynasty video, Doug. All right. So we're picking out of the 10 slot. Who shall we take? Sup? How are we doing? How's everyone doing today, man? How are you? Is it best ball summer yet? I guess it's not really. It can't be best ball summer yet if it's still literally spring, right? I suppose that's the way it works. My wife has our Amazon Prime account. I'd rather watch in standard Jeff than try and explain with. Yeah. Imagine trying to explain to your wife or partner who Davis Maddock is. All right. Yeah, sure. I'll just simply take Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think St. Brown is a perfectly cromulent Eliminator pick. What's up? Mill returns. How we doing? Who shall we take? That's a good pun. That's a really good pun. Ball is life. Man, I maybe could have been tempted to select Derrick Henry in this draft. It is best ball summer's eve. That is exactly what it is. Disbanded Brotherhood. You know what? I am not going to take Brian Thomas Jr. here because that's who Off the Schneid is about to take. I'm going to take Devin Achane, and I'm going to do so for two reasons. The first being, it's just nice to get a running back there. Second reason being the double week 8 bye in the 0.007% of the time that you get to that week, you are going to be a little bit tilted. Also, I just know from anecdotally, because I do these drafts one at a time, that I have that combination of players in the Eliminator. All right, here's theory number 1 for the Eliminator. Theory: diversification is more important in the Eliminator. True or false? And I'll tll you why I think it's true. So if we are thinking about these things more like a cash game, which I posit to you that we should be, my experience in doing cash games is, I go to runthesims.com. I run the top 100 projected lineups, right? In terms of projected points. And how many lineups am I going to get that basically project the same? Like from lineup 1 to lineup 100, all of those teams are going to project within maybe a point and a half on a crazy slate, maybe 2 points or something like that. It would have to be a real weird salary thing. Not that it is, not that it's 1-to-1, because it's definitely not 1-to-1. But basically, I think that you are going to want, after week 1, when you get into your head-to-heads, you are just going to want to have a bunch of you're just going to want to have a bunch of different ways to advance week over week in the Eliminator. I don't think if Bucky Irving turns his knee, I don't think if Drake London misses 2 weeks with an ankle injury, that you are going to want to have had 60% of him on your advancing teams. That's just my thought. My initial thought is that I think we should have a slight preference for more diversification in these tournaments. Yes. So no show with Liam, I believe, for the next month. Liam is now teaching chess, like at a literal school, a literal chess school in Florida. So like he is on location teaching people how to play the beautiful game of chess. So he will, I think Liam's plan now is to be streaming nights is the plan for Mr. Chess Liam. All right. So we have Amon-Ra St. Brown. We have Devin Achane. Kyron, Eliminator ass pick. I'm happy to take him. Yeah, I am happy to take. 1, I don't have a ton of Kyron in Best Ball Mania. 2, not nearly as big of a deal, again, in my opinion, if Kyron Williams is benched in week 7, right? The example that I always remember is the year that Cam Akers was traded. It's crazy, and this is not even that long ago. 2023, Cam Akers is traded for a conditional 7th. He got 22 rushes in week 1. Bang. Let's do... You know what? I'm actually going to take Joe Mixon. We're going to do a little bit of a boomer build here. A-Chain, Kyron, Mixon. Little bit of a boomer build. You guys tell me if you hate it or not. Davis, didn't realize you were live until I saw you were in my draft. Ryan? GL to you, sir. All right. So we are now in a little bit of a tricky situation, but much like much like the Superflex puppy, scoring system hasn't changed, but the scores you need or what you need in each round, it's very similar to the Superflex puppy in my opinion. Actually, I've never said this guy's name out loud. I assume it's Zverev, but I've never said his name out loud. Or Jokovic. Can I go neither and say I prefer Carlos Alcaraz? I really enjoy watching Alcaraz play. I'll tell you what, CGZ, my favorite tennis player is Arina Sabalenka, the crazy good women's player. She is in the semifinals of Roland Garros tomorrow, which I'll be locked in for. Interesting to see our boy BG Lakers 10 do Jalen Hurts with Chase over Burrow. Don't hate it. And I'm sort of one or two minds as it pertains to the stacking. Well, actually, no, I'm not. I think stacking is really, really strong. And actually, I was about to lie. I think stacking is super strong in this format. I think the field probably doesn't value it enough. And I would maybe go so far as to say that I think stacking is more important in this contest than it is in Best Ball Mania. Best Ball Mania is a contest about hitting the nuts, like hitting both the advance rate nuts and hitting the nuts in week 17, right? But in the Eliminator, kind of getting like an 80th percentile week, a lot of weeks is going to be good enough. And I think I certainly made the right decision looking at who's available. Yeah, I'm going to take George Pickens here, not TK Metcalf. I certainly think I made the right decision taking Joe Mixon here. Looking at how many wide receivers went, like pick 51, James Conner, I think Mixon was right. GM WFN, GM Mr. Money over on twitch.tv/DavisMatic. So that point on stacking is, assuming you have two quarterbacks, assuming you have one pass catcher with one of them, right? So assuming you've got, like, let's say you have Goff and St. Brown. Let's say I have Goff and St. Brown. I have Dak and Pickens. The points in my lineup should balance out. I'll take the ADP value in Metcalf. I do not feel strongly about this, but I don't think DK Metcalf is bad here. So like, let's say, for example, week 1, Amon-Ra St. Brown goes 8 for 113 and 1, and Pickens goes 4 for 40. Well, the Pickens score I can probably make up for with Metcalf or someone else, right? But what it's going to do is it's going to have upside on your contained 18 players hitting your lineup in the right weeks. I drafted about 30 Eliminator teams early, got very good ADP value on about 25 of the 30 teams. Should I keep maxing and drafting, or is it optimal to stop now? I drafted a few extra teams recently, and it seems like every team I draft now is mid compared to every team I had drafted. Well, I'll tell you what, Jared, there's probably no contest that is more suited to encourage you to keep playing than this one. So like the Superflex puppy, the first day, some of the ADP values were outrageous on those teams. And Podluck is going to shake a ton out of it. But this is Podluck on steroids. Like, let's say of those 25 teams that you advanced, let's say those 25 teams with the ADP values, you advanced a ton of them, and maybe you did. What if they just all get unlucky? What if they truly all just get unlucky in week 2 and you run up, like, let's say week 2, I don't know, let's just pretend. Let's pretend Calvin Ridley has a pretty good week 1. Like, say he goes 4 for 80 and a touchdown in week 1. But in week 2, Calvin Ridley is the number 1 scoring wide receiver. He scores 32 PPR points or whatever, right? It basically doesn't matter who is on all those teams you had. It like truly, like literally does not matter, right? So my advice would be, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to tell you have to keep drafting, but my advice would be don't let your prior good teams allow you to think that that your future teams are negative expected value. Because I would say I don't think that's true. Couldn't agree more about the stacking. Have a power stack, Hurts, AJB, Goddard, or value stack. Yeah, totally agree. Let's do, you know what? One of the players I think is most undervalued in this format compared to Best Ball Mania is Matthew Golden. I think Matthew Golden is just an everything player. I think that the base returns on a first round wide receiver are just not being priced into Matthew Golden at all. In fact, I want to pull up, I did like a small little research tweet yesterday. No big deal. Here we go. Let me pull this up. So we've got the insane disparity between first round wide receivers, fantasy points per game, and day 3 wide receiver points per game. Since 2014, there have been 47 round 1 wide receivers who got on the field. My minimum constraint was 1 fantasy point per game. And 24 of those wide receivers scored over 10 PPR points per game. I need to make a pick here real quick. And let's actually do Jalen Warren. I think he's kind of the end of a tier. There have been 87 day 3 wide receivers who got on the field. Only 8 of those players scored 10 PPR points per game. Now, that might sound like closer than you would think, like in your head. Maybe you start thinking it's closer in your head. But actually, when you do it for wide receivers on day 3 period, there's 189 of them. So many of them just never even get on the field. What percentage of Chris Godwin do you want to end up with in Best Ball Mania? I don't know. Honestly, I don't have a target exposure for him. Maybe I don't know. I mean, he seems like an 8% guy. I don't feel strongly either way about Chris Godwin. Does anyone want to try and convince me strongly? I'll tell you what, I feel more strongly about his teammate Emeka Egbuka. I think the range of outcomes on Egbuka are being, I feel like the downside is way more priced in. I'm definitely going to do like one, I'll probably do 2 eliminators, Jared. Maybe I'll do a super flex puppy. I probably won't do any BBM today. Would be curious to see the weeks 1 through 4 fantasy points per game for those wide receivers that hit. To me, Golden's ADP takes a hit more because people think his impact won't be immediate. Yeah. So, I mean, John, I think you're 100% correct. Well, let's take a look actually. So, I guess these are for all the these are all the day 3s. We do know that rookie wide receiver production is backweighted, right? I mean, that is just 100% true. We do know. In the micro case, though, for the Green Bay Packers. My micro belief is that Golden is probably a day one starter, because I think they don't view Wicks as a starter. They don't view Jaden Reed as a full-time player. Savion Williams probably won't even be active in week 1. So I feel like we are like drawing pretty live for like I don't know, dude can get I think 77% of the routes in week 1. Do we know if anyone has done any actual analysis on the Eliminator results? I couldn't find a data dump for the Eliminator. Well, there's not going to be any results on the prior contest Artillery Frost, because this is the first time they've done it this way. The other way they've done the Eliminators was via different cuts. All right, we are on the clock. Purdy, I like. Let's do. I'm actually going to take Shaheed here, because we have Goff, we have Dak, we have Love, we have Shuck. Yeah. So it was fine there. I'm nervous about Godwin until I hear more news about his injury. Yeah. Well, do we have any news? Wow. Okay. So I guess I'm not taking Goff. Do we have any news from camp yet? How are the head-to-head pods matched up post week 1? Basically the same way that your pods are done for Best Ball Mania, just via a quick little bit of randomness. All right, we're going to take Dak here. Dak and Pickens. So for quarterbacks now, I have Love live. I would prefer not to take Tyler Shuck in this format. Maybe could do a back stack here. My boy Waikangwu over on twitch.tv/DavisMatic. Godwin looking like he's ready week 1. That is what I have heard. Yeah. Top 25 wide receiver every year. He's played the majority of snaps in the slot, going at wide receiver 34. Yeah, and last year was his best yards per route run in the NFL as well. Yes, this is the function used to create the head-to-head matchups. The RAND function. All right, so now we are set up with Dak and Pickens. Our running back room is super strong. All 4 different bye weeks with A-Chain, Kyron, Mixon, and Warren. Not that it's necessary for all your running backs or wide receivers to have different bye weeks, but it is a nice little bonus. St. Brown, George Pickens, DK Metcalf, Matthew Golden, and Rashid Sheets. We might find ourselves a little bit in a tricky spot. No, the week 1 pod is not random. The week 1 pod is not random. It is, it'll just be these fellas. It'll be me versus BG Lakers 10, Kling KC 17, M Sauce, Burgundy Bets, J Law 9, J Wall JJ, Ja 2, RBAPS 24, MJ 10K, Off the Schneid, and Balake 77. Happy to have you, Michael. I added a new beverage to the rotation. These were on sale at Aldi. These cold brew green teas. They have a little bit of sugar in them, so that's not great. But they're pretty fire. Yeah, win Puppy 2, Adam. Win Puppy 2 indeed. I assume we will get a new low dollar contest after the pug fills. Okay. So I didn't get Jordan Love. Jordan Love went here. I am on the clock. Now, which quarterback? You know what? I'm happy to take Trevor Lawrence, and I am happy to backstack him with Dynamic Brown and or Brenton Strange. So the Draft Caddy is a Chrome extension. You can also use it in Firefox, obviously, and then the Sidekick, which does not work for the Eliminator, does not work in Chrome, only works in Firefox. But they are just extensions, basically. Yes. Okay. Tricky spot here, in my opinion. I don't really know what to do. I'm gonna take Tank Bigsby. That adds on to a stack there. I just really didn't know what to do. It could have talked me into Loveland there, actually. If you have to equal players, do you break ties to players that have week 5 bye compared to week 14? That is probably... That might be getting too deep in the weeds, Meekin. I mean, I don't hate it. I think it's fine. But I guess if it was close, I guess if it was literally 2 players, like, I don't know. Who do I not? I have no opinion between who. God, I have an opinion about everyone. That's hard. Okay, I have no opinion between Demario Douglas and DeAndre Hopkins. Sure, I would side for Demario Douglas there because they're basically the same. Yeah, Sidekick is a little bit more complex than the Draft Caddy, and it also has to do with just like the way Chrome itself does the approvals. Oh, yes, I'm just a very small partner at the Endgame Syndicate. So I will be on some more of their shows. All the DFS stuff here on my channel will be Run the Sims because Endgame Syndicate bought Run the Sims. Yeah, so we will just be integrating some more Endgame style stuff here on this channel. We'll be doing some of the sim. So the sim stuff that we did last year, all of yeah. So just a little bit more sim based business here on this channel. All right, we are up. You know what? Wan'Dale Robinson was born to be on my team in the Eliminator. I would say yeah, no more lineup HQ here on the channel. We'll be Run the Sims based. I can't. You know what, Rock? I might have even drafted I might have even drafted a Kenny Pickett in the Superflex puppy. I can't confirm or deny, but I think I did. Okay. Dallas Goedert is a pretty Eliminator style pick, honestly. But I want Brenton Strange. Is there a chance Strange comes around to me? Certainly. You know what? I'm actually just going to take Roschon Johnson. I love the Tua Zach Wilson stacks in Superflex. The Superflex drafts, you definitely can, maybe even should be handcuffing quarterbacks. Man, Wan'Dale Robinson, 9th in the NFL in targets. No games over I think no games over 13.5 points for him last year. I need Rock versus Gritty versus Davis in the Eliminator finals. Man, boy, the sweat. I tell you, Liam sold me because he was like, dude, how cool would it be to have a team, sweating it out in week 9 of the Eliminator? It's definitely very cool for content. Yes. Roshan is definitely my safety blanket because I think even if they sign Nick Chubb, or even if they sign J.K. Dobbins, or if they trade for ETN, I feel as if his role as like third down back, goal line back is pretty much there. I don't think handcuffing your quarterbacks in Superflex is correct. I think you want to swing on backup quarterbacks on teams that are shallow at QB. Yeah, I mean, I guess my overarching point was more that you should be taking backup quarterbacks in Superflex like you take backup running backs. Do you have any plans to branch your streaming out beyond best ball or fantasy? Well, I had grand plans this last offseason, before the draft, of starting to stream Football Manager on Twitch. But basically, I decided to stream 150 big board drafts instead, is what happened. And I don't get Brenton Strange, so that stinks. So I'm a little bit behind it at tight end. That's okay. First full season doing best ball. Any fun tournaments that will come out or have in the past? I mean, yeah, you're gonna get the puppy, which is $5, 150 entries. But yeah, they have the big dog out right now. They'll do the Mastiff. We'll take Hunter Henry, Eliminator ass tight end. They'll do a $50. They'll do a $50 one that's probably 5 entry max. They'll probably do like $100 single entry. There will be a lot of like fun kind of side contests on Underdog, certainly over the course of the summer. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't cook. Yeah, I think the optimal number of quarterbacks in the Superflex drafts is probably 4. I need Dynamic Brown here. Bang, we've got him. So now our team is Dak Prescott, Trevor Lawrence, Devin Achane, Kyron Williams, Joe Mixon, Jalen Warren, Tank Bigsby, Roshan Johnson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, George Pickens, DK Metcalf, Matthew Golden, Rashid Shaheed, Wan'Dale Robinson, De'Ami Brown, and Hunter Henry. Yeah, there'll be a Poodle that's $7 that you can do 7 entries. A Dalmatian, that's $101, 3 entry max. And there'll be plenty of like $3. But last year they did the mini Schnauzer, and they did 5 different versions of it. And they did one with the 10-second clock, one with a 20-second clock, and one with a 30-second clock, right? So they will probably run some stuff back like that. In fact, I would almost assure that they are going to run some stuff back like that this year. That feels pretty likely. Yeah, last year they dropped the 3 mini Schnauzers that were all different clocks at once. The 10-second clock, I'm a fan. I remember I was drafting. I think I did all 10 of the 10-second clock ones at once. I think I just said, you know what? Yes, they had the Badge Bros Brawl, which was 6-person drafts, like BR drafts, but for the whole season. That's another fun one. Yeah, I look forward to seeing what they cook up for the flock contest this year. How eliminator of a team is Team 12? How much of an eliminator ass team? Honestly, not that eliminator ass. Your running back 3 is Cam Scadaboo. Your running back 4. I'm giving this a very low eliminator ass grade, Blake. We are drafting the eliminator. I'll give you guys a hint. I will give you guys a hint. Anytime you ever click on my stream and you're wanting to know what I'm drafting, I always label it in the timestamp. So if you click on the YouTube description, there will always be a timestamp in there. And you know what? I can even tell you what. I will even start doing this. Eliminator draft underdog promo underdog code Davis for deposit bonus. Bang. There you go. Eliminator draft. There you go. Add it to the banner. Bang. Done. All right. We need a tight end. Let's do Jatavian Sanders. I liked him a little bit last year. He did injure his neck, which is not great. Neck injuries in professional football. You don't love to see it. I don't think Rice could get that high, but he definitely could get to where T. Higgins goes. He could get to wide receiver 13, I think, Hunter. All right, final pick here. Frankly, I think our wide receivers are good enough. Maybe we add on one more. The issue is a wide receiver 3 performance just really does not help you that much in this, but maybe it helps make up for the numbers. You know what? Parker Washington. Do that. Maybe he just beats out Dynamic Brown. Final team: Dak, Lawrence, A-Chain, Kyron, Mixon, Warren, Tank Bigsby, Roshan Johnson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Pickens, Metcalf, Golden, Shaheed, Wan'Dale Robinson, Dynamic Brown, and Parker Washington, Hunter Henry, and Jatavian Sanders. Do I think Taj Brooks is the direct backup over Pirine and Moss? I sure don't. I think that it's probably more likely that we see Taj Brooks not make the team than be the direct backup. Moss is definitely going to be the direct backup in week 1. Now, will he be the direct backup in week 17? Hard to say. Is there any data on which month is the best to draft? I mean, frankly, there is data that can support whatever you want. There is data to support that drafting early on, when you can get the most amount of closing line value, is best. There is data that suggests that you want to get the maximum amount of information possible, which would obviously be drafting closest to the start of the season. I would encourage you to check out here. Let me link this. Best Ball Manifesto. Check out this article over on Establish the Run by Michael Leone. It's free. Check that out. And there's a ton of information there about best time to draft, ADP value, all that stuff. Really anything you could want. Is there data for neck injuries I wasn't aware of? I mean, my neck injury analysis would be hard to play football with a neck injury. That's all I got for you. All right, guys, what do you think? You want to do another Eliminator? Another super? I think we probably do one more Eliminator, right? I think eliminate is in the title. Eliminate your errors in best ball. So I think we do another Eliminator. I think we ship out one more of these. Probably not doing BBM today. Probably no BB. I'm sorry, Matt, but I am a little bit ahead of pace. I'm gonna do 20 second per pick eliminator. Let's vibe. I take 2 quarterbacks more often than 3 quarterbacks in the eliminator. I'm at 27, but the thing is, for content, for being someone who does these like on video, one, I want to save some to do videos, as in recorded videos. In fact, I have what I think is like a really cool one that I just did. So if you're a YouTube member, you can see this already. And I want to save numbers to do that. Let me pull this up because it's really cool. This one simple trick to draft the perfect fantasy football team. I mean, don't get me wrong, a little bit of clickbait there, but I think it's really cool. So I want to save Best Ball Manias to do for that. And I get the 1.1. All right. But also, the views that YouTube videos will get in August obviously are going to be much higher than in June, which is, hey man, I'm here for the people, but gotta save the teams for the right time. So we're going to do Jamar Chase here. I don't think I have Chase in the eliminator yet. I'll tell you another reason to keep doing eliminators is I think you kind of want to have an even distribution of first round picks. So we have eliminator draft number 2, starting with Jamar Chase. The argument I think for taking Barkley is a little bit better in this than in Best Ball Mania. Is it just guaranteed Shuck is starting over Rattler? Rattler basically going undrafted in Superflex, but Shuck in the 80s. Well, it's definitely not guaranteed. Yeah, I would say it's certainly not guaranteed. I would say Rattler is definitely not in the driver's seat. I would say Rattler is in the Rattler's very much in the passenger seat there. He went 0 for 6 as a starter last year. 5.8 YPA, 4 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. What was his best game? He did go no multi-touch. I mean, that's just like Rattler. I liked him. He went to the University of Oklahoma, but he did not cover himself in glory. Masterful says he does not like Gibbs in this format personally. I get it. He has a wider range of outcomes per game than the average elite running back because he just doesn't play that much. I slightly like the elite quarterbacks in the eliminator. I think the elite tight ends are kind of overpriced. Yeah. That is my early lean, is that elite tight ends I think they should drop about 10 spots in value or so in this, and they just don't. Would not surprise me if Gibbs scored 10 or more points in every game last year. Ragnow does not really worry me. Ragnow retiring does not really worry me, no. Because they drafted his replacement. They traded up to draft a center. All right. You know what's funny is in the eliminator, no chance do you get the Burrow to fall. All right, we're gonna do Chase Brown. All right, weird team. I'm gonna take Josh Allen. Have not done this combination of players yet. Just trying things. Mo Water saw Davis Maddock in the draft and came to the live. Salute. Thank you, Mr. Water. I appreciate you. Yeah, that center has a ridiculous mullet. That guy is an NFL starter for the next decade. Yes, Joel is echoing my thoughts perfectly. There is no margin for error with the elite tight ends. Brock Bowers goes 4 for 40 in week 1, and you are in a bad way. Now, normally, no disrespect, Rock, but I do completely disregard your fantasy football takes because they are normally about Kenny Pickett. But this actually is something that I've seen about OTAs. And I can't even believe it's true. But Hunter Renfrow actually does legitimately have camp buzz. There are some rumors that Hunter Renfrow is potentially going to be ahead of Jalen Coker. Now, do I believe that? I don't. But it's at least getting put out there. Also, yes, I mean, Thielen, I think we all kind of know Thielen is not playing 17 games this year, which is fine. Honestly, for the cost, I think Thielen is fine. When you go elite QB in the Eliminator, how do you like to handle quarterback 2 or 3? I think this is an astute question for elite QB in the Eliminator. And my thought is I kind of want to push it as hard as possible. I would not mind, waiting for on this team, let's say, Tua, Bryce, Geno even. I think these are all fine options because I am definitely, I'm behind at running back on this team, right? I'm behind at running back and at wide receiver on this team. Now, I will tell you something that is a smidgen interesting. So let's say, where did T. Higgins go? So let's say this fella right here, Blake, who is in the chat, good man, guy who knows a lot of ball. If he passes on Burrow at 68, and he's definitely not going to, what would I do at 72? I don't know. It's interesting. Renfrow has a top 10 wide receiver season in half PPR under his belt. It's true. Yeah, I'm still. I mean, you're much less likely to get a pushed Burrow in this contest versus Best Ball Mania, but I still probably would because Burrow is just over projected. That's just all it is. He is just over projected, or over drafted. Have you done any teams with both elite tight end and elite quarterback like Bowers in the 2nd and elite quarterback in 4? I've done it in Best Ball Mania. I would not do it in the Eliminator. All right, we are gonna take Ken Walker, and we are also gonna take Xavier Worthy. So we have Josh Allen, Chase Brown, Ken Walker, Jamar Chase, and double week 10 buys for my wide receiver would be amazing if that mattered. I kind of like getting the 2nd quarterback in the window in case my elite quarterback misses a game or 2, which I think is totally valid. But the window, I think, is a smidgen interesting here because the dynamics of the window have changed. Like, I think Mason, not like Najee, Tyrone Tracy, a lot of these guys who we think might lose their job over the course of the season, but still matter in the first month. You could argue, I don't know if I'd agree with you, but you could argue that Najee Harris is being undervalued in this format. Again, don't know if I would agree with you, but you could argue it. Artillery Frost says stacked Burrow at 4-5 is worse here because you don't need a supernova week to win this contest. But conversely, unstacked Burrow is better because, again, you don't need a supernova week. I agree with that. I think you're right. I think you are correct. I wouldn't take Renfroe now, but if he beats out Thielen, Liget, Coker, I agree. Not a huge surprise. Manly Moose says, hasn't Burrow been an elite scorer every year he's been healthy? Didn't he score more points than Josh Allen last year? So I think a really simple way to view this is let's go to 2023 passing stats. There are people who are smarter than me who've done studies on this, but let's just sort by touchdown rate. So highest amount of touchdown rates. So Brock Purdy, 7% last year. Brock Purdy went to 4.4%. So he threw fewer touchdowns, right? We've got, what do we have here? Dak Prescott, 6.1% in 2023. In 2024, Dak went to 3.8%. So now let's go back and let's go look at 2024 passing touchdown rate. Joe Burrow, 6.6%. Sam Darnold, 6.4%. Again, just for example. So in terms of touchdown rate, 6.6% is 1.1% higher than Joe Burrow's career average. The last time he was in the mid sixes, he then went down to a 5.8% touchdown rate. It's just very, very hard to sustain that level of performance. Very, very difficult. So it's nothing against Burrow. I like Joe Burrow. Good guy. By all means or whatever. Just very hard to duplicate that. What happens to Najee and Hampton when J.K. Dobbins goes back to the Chargers? Well, I'll tell you what, it's really bad for Najee. Really, really not good for Najee Harris if J.K. Dobbins goes back. Yes, Renfroe had, I didn't know it was ulcerative colitis, but I knew that he had some kind of autoimmune disorder. GM Peppertoni, Fumst, F-I-M-S-T. All right, let's see. Did we get lucky here? Not particularly. Josh Allen, Chase Brown, Ken Walker, Jamar Chase, Xavier Worthy. Man, we are kind of up against it. So we're going to take Aaron Jones here. And you know what? God love him. I am going to take Khalil Shakir. Eliminator ass pick, Khalil Shakir. Give me your 11.2 points. What about Jimmy Horn? I mean Jimmy Horn. I gotta say I'm probably out on Jimmy Horn Jr. So Jimmy Horn Jr. Obviously was at Colorado with Shadur. I do not see it with Jimmy Horn Jr. I actually think the TD rate argument is not a good counter to Burrow because he has done it in 2 of his 3 healthy seasons. I think the better argument is that he won't need to push the pace as much. Well, all I can do, and I wish I had the, you know what? Where's Crutches? Crutches has the good stat on the 6%. I'm gonna message him right now. I need the JJ stat on 6% TD rate. I mean, it's just hard for me to see Jimmy Horn making the team because you have Renfroe there too. Like you have the 4 guys who I think are roughly locks to make the team, right? So you've got Tet, Thielen, Coker, and Liget, right? Mr. Line of Scrimmage, we are drafting an Eliminator. We are eliminating our errors in best ball. non-running quarterbacks. Yes. I mean, this really, you can like, I can expel all these words and say all these things, but really at the end of the day, non-running quarterbacks just make it more difficult. It's just, you have a long road to hoe to reach your mega ceiling every year. Okay, so I'm trying to logic this one out. You guys tell me. Are falling ADP values more or less valuable in the Eliminator? Again, my gut tells you less. It's less important because uniqueness is going to matter less, and also part of your uniqueness is just going to be the uniqueness is just going to be a function of who scores points. I think it's certainly less. Like a unique combo just does not matter to me very much in the Eliminator. Whereas a unique combo in Best Ball Mania obviously feels quite good. Yeah. Unique combos just do not matter as much. They just don't, right? Because your what do you win when you win is just so much less. All right. I do think it was a good idea to take Shakir there. Now, I was going to take Michael Pittman Jr. Ooh, this is terrible, man. It does not get worse than this. This is as bad as it gets. All right. I'm taking Kelsey. That was a bad pick. And I'm going to take Jaden Higgins. And I took Jaden Higgins for two reasons. First being, if he can't beat out Robert Woods for week 1, he wasn't going to be any good anyway. Second being, Ayuk, I think, is terrible in this because he's not going to play for the first 6 weeks. Yes, this is not fine. This is not fine. That was about as bad as a turn gets. Oh, wow. Mr. Chesley himself, how long are you going to be live? Be home in about an hour. Liam, I was going to do one more draft after this because believe it or not, Mr. Chesley, I am in charge of grilling the steaks for my father-in-law's birthday. Are we assuming that Danny Dimes is actually good? We seem high on Downs and Pittman for thinking that AR and Dimes suck. Yeah. Honestly, Peppertoni, I'm gonna give you that's fair. Why does Higgins go 3 rounds before Kirk? Christian Kirk is a slot-only wide receiver who has not had a healthy season in 3 years, I believe. So Christian Kirk is entering into his age 29 season. His last healthy season was 2022. In 2023, he had 50 receptions and 3 touchdowns. In 2024, he had 27 receptions and 1 touchdown. He has one 1,000-yard season in his career. Last year was his second worst yards per target season ever. And a team that kind of desperately needed wide receiver and took a wide receiver at 2 in the NFL draft, traded him for a conditional 7th round pick. Go-to steak seasoning. I mean, unless I'm trying to get super fancy, I just do. They're up sitting in the fridge right now. Olive oil, salt, pepper, garlic, as in a garlic clove, crushed and mashed up, a little bit of rosemary, a little bit of thyme, a little bit of black pepper. Explain how having an elite quarterback tight end in a 1v1 format Sure, it's 6-12. Why isn't that awesome to lap your opponent? Well, the main reason is that you are going to find yourself dominated at flex quite a bit. Like Burgundy Bets, if you got to your week 2 matchup and then just pulled up your projections and projected your lineup compared to your opponent, you're going to find yourself behind quite a bit when you spend I don't know, let's just look at this board. Who's the last elite skill position player in your mind, right? To me, I think the last elite skill position player, like truly before you start wading into a morass of emptiness, I think it's like right here at T. Higgins and Breece Hall. So like imagine if at this turn I would have taken Josh Allen and Trey McBride. So then my wide receiver, like it's just, you find yourself in a spot where it's hard to make up the points. Well, I was wrong, Liam. Simple question. Simple process. Oh shit, I'm on the clock. I did not realize I was on the clock. Sure, we're going to take Charbonnet. Is there any reason to take a quarterback right here? Not really. Well, here's an interesting one. I'll take Kirk and Higgins together. I can't lose. And maybe that helps me push Stroud around. Perfect reality. Here's the deal. I'd love to tell you I have a great grill set up. Oh, I sous vide. I have a Traeger. I have a big green egg. No, I have an old propane gas grill that we got from my wife's family friend. It's super old, and it is like it gets the job done, but it is not a nice grill. Yes, Crutches will give it to you right here. You draft the mega ceiling quarterbacks to win GPPs, not generally to win cash. Bit different in DFS since you can buy cheap weekly running back and tight end volume. Great way to put it. Absolutely great way to put it, which is that most weeks you go and run the optimal wherever your projection site of choice. Very rarely are you paying up for quarterback, and extremely rarely are you paying up tight end. Mo Wada says the reason elite tight end and quarterback are advantageous is because eventually you're going to face someone with a comparable quarterback score. Then all the weeks you lap the field at quarterback are irrelevant. Reverse sear, that is that sous vide and then you sear it, right? Or is that wrong? Am I the dunce? Is reverse sear you do sear it then put it in the sous vide, or sous vide it then sear it? I've never done these fans. Ooh, sear it then toss it in the oven. Have not done oven steaks ever in my life, actually. PSA here, please do not use charcoal to grill your steaks. #meat abuse. Please keep your local meat gazers in mind. Nah, okay. Now this I've heard of, obviously. I'm not a fancy cooker. I enjoy cooking, you know. And I enjoy grilling. I would say like during the summer and the spring, I would say I probably grill probably about half our meals, honestly. I sell propane and propane accessories. AJ in Carolina enjoyed the Zach Zenner podcast. Thank you. I also enjoyed the Zach Zenner podcast. That's my boy. Big fan of Mr. Zenner. All right. So I kind of panicked at the last pick. I took Charbonnet and Kirk. I think we can keep waiting at quarterback. Jim W. Jim W. took the unstacked, uncorrelated CJ Stroud. All right. All right. What do we have here? You know what? I could definitely get away with Besh. I could definitely get away with Bryce Young and Thielen. Those are different, but you know what? I am going to do that. Stay woke. Is there a better week 3 stack than Bryce Young and Thielen? Folks, I don't think so. That is optimizing for week 3. Now, you can't be coolers. You can't be a butter cooked steak in a pan. Beautiful, still delicious. What's the appeal for Jack Besh? Jack Besh is a good prospect, a 2nd-round pick who's going to an offense that I expect to be pretty good. Like, I don't know, maybe that is a real hot take. But I expect the Raiders to be like, I don't know, the 13th best offense in football or something like that. And they have no other target earners, like on the whole team, really. Right before Thielen goes on the IR for old man cramps. People do forget Jack Besh led a team in targets that had Neighbors, BTJ, and Trey Palmer, and who's the other guy? There was another NFL wide receiver on that team. Best rub ever. 1/2 cup of salt, black pepper, white pepper, granulated garlic, paprika, coriander, add about 2 ounces. Yes, a coffee rub on a steak is also great. I agree with that. Can we get a live best ball stream during a workout? Probably not. Probably not. You guys want me to go set up my my phone at the gym? No one wants me yapping, bro. No one wants me yapping at the gym. No one wants to hear me talking about cooking steaks while they're I'm trying to get their sets in. My gym is also a super, like, it's very busy. There's always lots of folks in there. Bowers Besh feels like a non-eliminator pairing. Yeah, I can see that. I dry age my steak for a month and eat it raw on a wooden cutting board. Yes, you know what? Yeah, I can live stream from Kitchen's gym because that shit ain't getting used. How likely is Garrett Nussmeier to be the number 1 pick next year? Honestly, I have no idea. I think seems unlikely, but I guess it's possible. Isn't Arch just gonna be the number 1 pick? That's what it seems like to me. All right, how are we gonna finish this one? I am gonna take Brenton Strange, and I'm gonna take Jalen Wright, the guy I've been trying to get a little bit more of. So we are at Josh Allen, Bryce Young, Chase Brown, Ken Walker, Aaron Jones, Zach Charbonnet, Jalen Wright, Jamar Chase, Xavier Worthy, Khalil Shakir, Jaden Higgins, Christian Kirk, Adam Thielen, Travis Kelce, and Brenton Strange. Let me tell you what, man. It is a fun time in these drafts to just draft some dusty olds, man. We are hopping in and we are saying nothing matters. I'm allowed to have full week 1 brain. There's nothing quite like having week 1 brain. The odds for Nuss being number one are the same as Will Howard's were last year. Wait, isn't Arch eligible this year? We think Arch is going to stay for 2 years. I don't know about that. That seems like it would be misguided on his part. Like, come out, be the number one pick, just be awesome, right? Over under Russell Wilson starts this year. Punted quarterback 2 in Eliminator. Hope he can play week 14. Well, the Giants' schedule is brutal. And so I think we're going to see Dart get in sooner. The Giants start the season at the Commanders. Then they go at the Cowboys. Then they're home to the Chiefs. Then they're home to the Chargers. Probably the only game that they are favored on, I have to pull up their schedule right now, but probably the only game they are favored on is they are at the Saints. So they might be favored in week 5 at the Saints. That feels like a good time to put Dart in. Arch plus 220. Yeah. I feel like if I had to bet one of these numbers for number 1 overall pick right now, I would bet Sellers. I would bet Lenoris Sellers to be the number 1 pick if those were the odds boards available to me. And I don't even, I don't think Sellers is the greatest player of all time or anything like that, but he's kind of got the requisite athleticism. He's got the tools. Yes, the Giants are on bye in week 14. All right. We're good at bye week for quarterbacks, Allen and Bryce. We're good at bye weeks at tight end. I desperately need to add third. I just need some ceiling, dude. I need someone who can frickin' score a tud. Running backs I feel pretty good about. Aaron Jones is a pretty good third running back. Oh, I just realized I took I took Walker and Charbonnet. Why did you guys not stop me from taking Charbonnet? You guys are supposed to have my back, bros. Doubled up on Seattle running backs. Devin Neal. Oh, I'm about to make a very Eliminator pick right here. Audric Estime. Very Eliminator. Now, tell you what, I just got to find some freaking ceiling at wide receiver. I'm going to take A.D. Mitchell. A.D. Mitchell's probably a 0, but if he isn't, I think he is a small loss, big win player. At least Walker and Charbonnet will be unique. Never Amari Cooper. Dude, what if what you need to win the Eliminator is Ken Walker and Zach Charbonnet ping-ponging weeks? Is this an Eliminator-ass team? Kyron Chase. No, that is the opposite of an Eliminator-ass team. That's a lot of young guys, a lot of ceiling guys. I mean, I guess Kelsey's old. Not an Eliminator-ass team, though. I guess my thought was in this format is that it's a little bit worse because I just want so many scores I want so many scores to draw from in a given week. And so, that basically eliminates eliminates one of your roster spots because you're not going to get 2 scoring Seattle points in 1 week. We will recover and persevere, though. See, I was thinking handcuffing made less sense in the Eliminator because you just want You just want so many guys. Yes. Eliminate your errors in best ball by watching me make them. Amari Cooper is the least Eliminator ass pick ever. That man is known for the biggest nuke game in recent memory and then sat out. Wow, a new Memby. Car Park 03. You guys should all come and hang out in the Discord. I hope we get a bunch of Membys. Why not handcuff? You were literally against one person all year, then a 3-person final. I think that's just not the same way I'm viewing it. Like, I mean, yes, obviously you can just win 17 coin flips in a row, but it's much more likely that, like, Audric Estime is a 0, Jalen Wright's a 0. And instead of taking Charbonnet, I could have taken Tajay Spears. I could have taken Rashad White. And that just gives me more roster spots to choose from. Wow. Car Park says, I ain't done yet. Gifting 5 memberships. So now 5 of you can watch members-only videos. 5 of you guys can come hang out in the Discord. So I salute all of you. If you're trying to take both Seattle guys, sure, but they're week 8 bye. That week has most other teams on bye. Yes. No. It was a clear mistake. Clearly bad by me. And now look at this. Now look at this. My dude Masterful says, you know what, Davis? I'm hella betting against you. I'm taking Damian Martinez. He says, eat it. Pepper Tony, it's crazy, dude. It's how has Pepper Tony never gotten a gifted Memby? All right, we definitely need a wide receiver. All right. How's Elijah Moore for an Eliminator ass pick? It's true. This is actually, you know what? I'll confirm these reports. The Discord has been on fire recently. It's been good. GM. I know YouTube should allow you to just say, I want to draft a membership, but give it directly to Pepper Tony. Well, Mr. Money, not the first time I've said something and then done the exact opposite. Davis, do you think it would be cool if the Eliminator decided matchups after week 1 via seeding? I'm trying to think. I mean, one, it would just be impossible to work because, like, I think literally our friends at Underdog do literally just press like a random number generator. Like, I don't think there's any thought or strategy. I mean, I don't know. But it would be cool, like, to really incentivize you to score week 1 points or whatever. Okay. Yes. Yeah. If you Pepper Tony, if you do sub on Twitch, you all you have to do is, I mean, it's the same as YouTube. You just connect your Discord account. Yeah. Wow. Mr. Nick P. GM. Dude, the Eliminator live final. All right. You know what? I'm actually just going to do another one of these. I was going to maybe do a Superflex puppy or something, but I'm having fun. These are fun. It's kind of interesting how much I think. So I guess I can only speak for myself. There's 2 things going on. The first is the Eliminator is very different than the other contests in the lobby. So it's fun to talk about. The other thing is, Mr. Pope of Rap, Mr. Frapp, is that for a content creator, this is awesome because if I have a team, I'm going to have teams to sweat every single week that are actually sweating. Like, week 3 actually became super important in this contest, basically. All right, there we go. Pick two. Why does no one stream weekly winners? That's a good question. Honestly, I don't have an answer for you as to why no one streams weekly winners. Eliminator draft number 3 starts with Barkley. I would guess there are 2 reasons for why no one streams weekly winners. The first reason being the audience is not that big for it. People don't care about weekly winners as much. And then the second reason the second reason is that there's like, I think to play weekly winners correctly, you have to really think about it. And I would assume a lot of the thought leaders, as it were, haven't thought about it and don't want to draft dead teams. Now, a great point. Thought leaders, not all streamers are thought leaders. Charlie, you make a good point. All right, Saquon Barkley, come on down. Barkley, pretty good pick. Also, yes, it's so hard to win weekly winners. Like somehow it feels harder to win weekly winners than Best Ball Mania somehow. I agree. Yes. Also, I would say this is a great and true thing that you haven't thought. Like I haven't thought a ton about this, but like weekly winners, a ton of the edge is uniqueness. Great example. And I bet it's one that played out last year. I'd have to go back and look at my results, but I bet if you were drafting Sam Darnold early, you probably had a bunch of unique builds. Like if you were drafting Darnold instead of McCarthy, I bet you had good teams or unique teams because Darnold was so low drafted. Have I thought about the worst picks in each round? Yes. Do we think that would be a good video? Probably would be a good video, but I probably should do. I should use like sleeper or something. Make it a little bit more. Make it more palatable for the masses. Still thinking about that. Interesting back-to-back comments here. General Blue, well, you don't need the nuts to win BBM. Nick hitting him with, you certainly need the nuts to win BBM. Nick, I love you. You're a great friend of the channel and the program. I think I agree with General Blue. I don't think you need the nuts to win BBM. You obviously need, yes, I would say this. You definitely need a different variety of nuts. Like I think the best example is obviously, what's his name? FFB Wizard. What, did he advance like 80 teams or something and then didn't make one to the finals? You know, it's the degree to which you need the nuts. Yeah, no matter what, you are getting hit in the nuts. Well, sure. Yeah, you need positive variance to win Best Ball Mania. All right. My boy, Long Bomb McFly, fan of the name, Long Bomb McFly, goes McCaffrey Jacobs. McCaffrey at 6 is a long bomb. It's putting your nuts on the table in a way that I appreciate. All right. I mean, I'm just gonna take T. Dude, there's no value to being unique in the Eliminator. You just got to get the most points. Yes. Positive variance. It's a new word for luck. You know what? I'm just going to take Rashee Rice. They can't stop me. They can't stop me from drafting Rashee Rice. I mean, yeah. Hey, Podluck. Podluck probably is the Podluck's probably the most important thing, right? Wouldn't you say? I would say it probably. I've thought of this constantly. Yeah, I say this all the time. I would rather be lucky than good. I say that golfing all the time. Man, I had this. Okay, it's Davis Talks About Golf Corner. Playing last Saturday, I've got I'm hitting my third shot on a par 5 from about 90, maybe 95. I kind of think I'm into the wind, but it's a crosswind. I couldn't hard to say. Dude, I put a perfect strike on this ball. Like, just like, I'm like, dude, I'm about to have a kick in birdie. Like, just like exactly what I want. Flew off the club, got the spin. And I don't know if I read the wind wrong or if I got a bad bounce. Oh, well, I probably read the wind wrong, but it just got, my ball just carried. And the ball the pin was on the lower complex of the green and it went all the way up to the higher complex of the green, off into the fringe. And it ruined my round. I was tilting for the rest of the time. But anyway, that was annoying because I was good, but not lucky there. As Jimmy said, unfortunately, I'm just good and not lucky. Be out after week 15. Rashi will be going 1-2 turn come August. No, I think he'll be going right about here. Pick 22, 21. No. I am not the type to wait for the green to clear. I do not hit the ball very far. I drive the ball about 230 yards. When I strike it clean, you know, I hit a 7-iron about 145, 150 because my swing action is so poor. I'm very aware of my limitations on the very aware of my limitations on the golf course. Better to be lucky than good. Yeah, Charlie knows. 3rd place Best Ball Mania finisher. Charlie line of scrimmage. No, I do not. No, I do not live like Larry. What happens when 10 teams have the same score players headed to week 17? I mean, just the odds. The odds of truly a team being duped in one of these contests is so low. You know what? Let's just live like it's 2024. 231 points last season. Alvin Kamara. Sure. Why not take a dusty old? Yes. Yeah. Charlie was 3rd in the year, in the Crane year. Kamara over JMO. Only in the Eliminator, folks. Only in the Eliminator. Fine with Sutton. What do we do? I don't think you want Devonta and Barkley together much. Huh. Let's take RJ Harvey. Let's live a little. Let's have a little bit of fun. Harvey coming in, hitting my lineup after Kamara retires. I tied exactly with Dink a couple of years ago in the DK Best Ball Finals, but we didn't have duped rosters. Yeah, there are tiebreaker rules for all this stuff. I think generally, I think the first tiebreaker is something like who drafted first or something. But they do have plenty of tie-breaking rules. So they're ready for it, I guess. Does feel like a lot of teams will be similar after a few weeks if Saquon does what he did last year. Yes. So obviously certain players are going to be higher owned as the contest continues, but I think that you can't weed out just how much randomness there is in head-to-heads. You really can't weed out. Like, there just is going to be so much weird shit. Haven't you seen Cash 1v1s? But yeah, the biggest thing is just that the contest structure itself is setting up to just, kind of take care of the randomness and the dupes itself. Back in my day, DFS tiebreakers were insane. Get a tie for the King of the Beach, then have to do a head. Yes, yeah, you have to play the head-to-heads. Yeah, very funny. Ownership can only max double every week. Yes. Okay, I had not considered. Nolan. That's very wise of you. Just to do straight math. Truth Serum. I think Brees is better than Kyron, but obviously Kyron is projected better. Yep. Yeah, there are going to be weeks when you beat someone head-to-head and you score 72 and they score 64. Whether it be the injury monster, whether it be bye weeks, just all kinds of stuff. Week 1 is really important, but I feel like right now we might have a little bit of fake week 1 certainty. Because we still are so far away, right? From week 1. Like, I mean, not to put this out in the universe, but like someone's going to get injured, right? Like, I don't know, could be Aaron Jones, could be DK Metcalf. Someone is going to get injured. And it's going to shake up the teams that drafted the injured players. It's going to be, we got a lot going on. Wow. Burrow fell all the way to 69. And Frazier J, who drafted Josh Allen, stopped me from getting him. What a freaking jerk. Jacoby Myers over Jordan Addison. Only in the Eliminator, bro. The rounds start in payouts start in week 4, I believe. Round 4, I think is correct. You know what? I'm not worried at all, really, about like I'm worried a little bit. My concerns are like 6% on Chris Godwin. So we are Saquon Barkley, Alvin Kamara, RJ Harvey, T. Higgins, Rashee Rice, Jacoby Myers, and Chris Godwin. Now, okay, Joel, again, making good points. Week 1 is the least important. Only have to beat 55% of the teams that aren't you versus 100% of the teams that aren't you every other week. And there's no money involved, right? Right? And there's no money involved in that week, right? Well, I mean, okay, there is in terms of like future expected value or whatever, but isn't that especially terrible in this format to snipe you like that? I don't think so. I mean, it's especially terrible that this dude's running back 2 is DeAndre Swift. That's not great for him, but I don't think it is any worse than in Best Ball Mania. Well, oh God, I already forgot who explained this. Someone just explained the math on it, John Stepp, but ownership can only double every single week, right? So it's not quite as high as you would think. Assume every team you draft does advance. Now what? Well, I guess you just ship it. I don't know. So this is a great question, Henny and Penny. I thought my dingers would have been doing awesome because my exposures are pretty good, but they're not. I don't really have a good answer for why, but they're not doing very good. Let me check my advance rates. My exposure is like honest. I guess maybe too much Jason Dominguez or something, but how long does it take until they got to have something set up so that you, I mean, I'm sure they do have something set up so that you can't play for it yourself. Yeah, I'm only advancing 11% right now, but a bunch of my teams are like close to the cut line. I don't know. We'll see. No luck in the dance. I had an Oklahoma City Knicks one that could have gotten there, but the Knicks couldn't do it for me. I really have no takes on J.K. Dobbins. I feel like most likely thing is that he kind of Devonta Freemans it up and just doesn't really matter for fantasy this year for whatever reason. All right. We have 3 running backs, 4 wide receivers. You know what? I really like Fields, actually. Fields, I think, is strong for this. Just like elite, single week ceiling. And rushing actually provides more floor than it does ceiling. Can you imagine that run out of wanting one of your specific teams to advance and you knock yourself out? Yeah. Yeah, Fields, Matt Stafford combo. Stafford really strong for this, yeah. You know what, though? I should have done what this dude is about to do, because this dude's about to take Mooney. Mooney is who I should have taken. This dude's out here auto drafting eliminators. You know what? Oh man, I was about to take Igbuka. Yeah, Josh Downs. Whatever. That felt tricky. I didn't know what the right pick was there. I should have taken Mooney first. I didn't realize this dude's on auto draft. No, this I think is one of the issues. I have like no Peter Crow Armstrong, like none actually. I think I had like 4 teams or something. The bigger issue is that like some of my guys who are doing all right, I don't know. Like I guess I have a lot of Acuna who's a low advance rate. I have a lot of Seager who sucks. I guess I have a lot of Orioles, and the Orioles have been really bad. So that's an issue. I don't know. I don't have a good answer. Yeah, the PCA season, I got no explanation for it. Maybe my pitching is just really bad. Well, so my 2 top drafted pitchers, one of them has not been called up. And the other 2 have not been very good. Jackson Joby and Zach Gallen. Yeah, the Sweating Dinger site is really good. Why do people draft Kenny Pickett? I don't think he has a chance to start and could be third. Well, yeah, that is a question for Mr. Rock Hardcastle. I do think there's a chance that we get Premier League or UCL BRs, Chris. Probably not best ball, but maybe BRs. The Cubs are very fun, Peppertoni. I think it's the combination of Kyle Tucker and PCA. God, I saw a great tweet the other day. It was like they're the first pair of teammates with over, I think it was like 15 plus steals, 15 plus homers or something. But the combination, the Cubs are a fun team. Also, the Oakland Athletics, I guess not the Sacramento Athletics, starting out the year, scoring a bunch of runs and then now being one of the worst teams in baseball has not been good for my advance rate. I think you could make an argument for this to be... Oh, man, I was about to take Tootin. Let's do Spears. Let's do Spears, and let's do... What do we do? Eliminator ass Kirk. Sure. Very, very Eliminator. The Kenny Pickett Golden Ticket YouTube video by Rock was quite possibly the worst YouTube video I've ever seen. Yeah. Yep, John, you've sort of hit the key of the Eliminator, which is that you could literally just not draft a tight end and only give away like 8 to 10 points a week on average. Yeah. Wow. Is this true? If this is true, it's life-changing for me, Mr. Nova. Imagine how anticlimactic it would be if the final Eliminator pod is one dude with 3 teams. If you can only draft teams from 3 divisions, which divisions will they be? Very good question. NFC North, because you have the Lions, you have the Vikings, you have the Packers, you have the Bears. So it's definitely the NFC North. AFC West gives you Chiefs, Geno Stacks, Herbert Hampton, RJ Harvey, Marvin Mims. Who would be the 3rd division? Definitely not the NFC North. Probably not the AFC East. AFC South, man, Titans suck. NFC South, you don't love. Oh, NFC West, right? NFC West, right? Rams, 49ers. Yeah, NFC West, I think. Yeah, you have to pick the divisions where you can draft high. I mean, NFC North, I think, is the only lock. I think the NFC North is the only one that is the absolute lock. That I don't think you could have a good player pool without it. Wow, a little bit of breaking news here. Man, Sean Payton is ready to piss you guys off. Look at this tweet that just got posted. Former Chargers starting running back J.K. Dobbins is headed to Denver tonight to have dinner with the coaches and visit the Broncos facility Thursday, per source. How mad would you guys be? Scale of 1 to 10. How mad would you guys be? J.K. Dobbins to Denver. I have a feeling some of you guys would be like a 9.7. I'd love it as a Dobbins guy. Many such cases of Dobbins guys being out there. Many cases of these folks. Happy because I have 13% Dobbins. Wish I had more Dobbins now. Harvey goes high enough. I'm still pissing wide receiver. All right, so I guess you guys are not that mad. And then Nick is saying, actually, I'm not mad. It's actually funny how not mad I am because I would just keep drafting more. Honestly, for me, it'd be terrible because it would kill Estime. Yeah. Not great for me because it would kill Audric Estime. I'm on the clock. Sure, Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence can't go wrong with Trevor Lawrence. Didn't mean to click him. That's the second time I've done that today. I should probably stop doing that. We're a little bit behind at running back, and now RJ Harvey just died, so I'm going to take Tyler Algier. Sure. What is dead may never die. Yeah, definitely. I'll tell you what. Dobbins signs with Denver. You do not want Audric Estime anymore. It would. Oh man. Man, I don't want to be clicking Kareem Hunt. Anytime I've ever taken it, it's not been good. Flash flood warning in my neighborhood. Oh, tornado warning in my neighborhood. Take shelter now. The sirens didn't go off. Shot about 900 900 notifications. Well, I didn't hear the sirens, so it's probably fine. It's the Harvey hurricane. Someone said 12-person leagues are a waste of time. Is that true? I don't even know what that means, brother. Yeah, just our weekly St. Louis tornado. Just storms here all the time. Where is Keenan Allen signing? I got no idea, bro. I got no clue. I mean, you can't beat a home 12-team league though, man. You're not gonna beat it. Our boy, Mr. McCarthy, looking good. What's the deal with Jalen Royals? He is the wide receiver 6 on the Kansas City Chiefs, maybe the wide receiver 5. He's a 4th-round pick from Utah State. I think they probably see some of the things they liked about Rashee Rice in Jalen Royals. Yeah, 8-team leagues, not as fun. You know, what can you do? I mean, don't get me wrong. I've played in some of those. Saw Keenan to the Saints was a possibility. That feels crazy. What would Keenan Allen want to have? I mean, I guess he could get the bag. All right, so we've got Fields, Lawrence, Barkley, Kamara, Harvey, Tajay Spears, Tyler Algier, T. Higgins, Rashee Rice, Jacoby Myers, Chris Godwin, Josh Downs, and Christian Kirk. You know what? That quarterback room is thin enough. I am just going to take Geno. I think this might be one of the first 3 quarterback teams that I've done, but it felt, I don't know. That did just Fields Lawrence feels like, I don't know, man. You've got some real zeroed potential out there. All right. Eliminator ass pick Hunter Henry does not get more Eliminator than Hunter. I guess maybe Ertz. Ertz is slightly more Eliminator. Who wins in a race, Keenan or Restrepo? Man, that is a good question. Who wins in a race, Keenan or Restrepo? I have 55% Estime in Superflex. I would be concerned about that right now. Frankly, I would be concerned. I would start trimming that back. Restrepo getting a lot of love in camp reports. Well, I would hope that he would be getting love in camp reports, because if Xavier Restrepo is not able to look good when he can't be tackled, then when would he ever look good? Because we know We know that dude is not gonna look good when the pads come on because he's gonna be so freaking slow. I don't have it in me to fight the Restrepo wars. I really don't. I need to know what Sean Payton orders before adjusting my Dobbins rank. I mean, yeah, sure. Like, am I really gonna be mad at a Restrepo? Like, if Restrepo is a rotational wide receiver, so be it. Just landed for a work trip and they don't have drafts here. Oof. I felt that feeling. It's not a fun feeling. I agree with this. Famously, Geno Smith last year was a pick I got when I was trying to draft Sion Vaki in round 18. Then I just got Geno instead, and Geno was a much better pick. Yeah, who am I mad that I missed out on? Frazier J is woke. He just took J.K. Dobbins at pick 172. Remind me not to take Estime in this draft. I saw Restrepo play in high school. Randomly said he looks kind of good, so I'm rooting for him. All right, how are we going to finish this one out? Because we've got 3 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 6 wide receivers, and 1 tight end. Barkley is definitely doing the heavy lifting in this running back room. From the time I took Harvey till now, he went to absolute 0. The Sion Vaki train is dead. Now, what is dead may never die, but yeah, there's no reason to be taking Sion Vaki in fantasy football drafts. I'm not tossing darts at Chubb, but you know, one could reasonably argue that is a hole in my game. I can't be taking Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, I don't think. I wish. I mean, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt might not make the team over Chris Rodriguez or Jeremy McNichols. All right, we are up. Is Dynamic Brown's not available? Let's go a little bit of Tutu Atwell, right? Tutu Atwell, I believe his highest target game in his NFL career was in week 1 2 years ago. Chubb should just become an Olympic lifter instead. Yeah, Slayton's fine. Slayton would be fine here. I can't believe I didn't. My wife said the tornado siren went off. I didn't hear it. All right. Wow, I just realized this dude next to me does not have a quarterback. He just auto-drafted the whole time and has not had the misfortune of getting a quarterback yet. And he's only going to have one. This dude next to me, tough scene. Not really a tight end available, so let's just take one. Theo Johnson has a week 14 bye. Good enough for me. Hunter Henry, Theo. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Imagine I get to week 14 and I lose $1 million, $200,000, because I have 2 week 14 buys at tight end. Can you imagine? Dude, you just got to ship the winner a tornado. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point, Michael. The news that Dobbins is not locked in to signing with the Chargers is super bullish for Amari and Hampton. About as bullish as it gets, frankly. Looks like Dobbins might be in the Mark Ingram to Harvey's Kamara role. Well, what years of their career? What years of their career? Dude, that's like 1/15 of a Karain. Man, you know what, dude? You guys would be the unique tilt the very unique tilt of the Eliminator. Like, imagine you're in week 13 or whatever, and you lose because, like, you're just 1v1. You're just sweating the whole time. You're sweating, dude. And you lose because, like, I don't know, Brock Bowers drops a touchdown or whatever. Or you lose because Tutu Atwell scored a 17-yard touchdown in a garbage time game. Yes, it's literally like just like bad beats on bad, like the bad beat stuff for the Eliminator is going to be crazy. Like, people are going to be tilting their brains out. Yeah, Harvey's definitely going to fall a little bit. Maybe not. What you got to do is you have to monitor and say, what does the official establish the run projections say? Well, Chris, when it happens to you, it's going to feel like a bad beat. Oh, Higgins for sure. Jaden Higgins all day over Christian Kirk. All right, final pick. I am going to do a running back. And I am going to do... You know what? I'm going to take Dylan Sampson. I'd have won an extra $100K if DK Metcalf doesn't drop a touchdown week 17 2 years ago. Many such cases. This is fine. All right. That team was... We started out with Barkley, T. Higgins round 2, Rashee Rice round 3. I took Kamara ahead of RJ Harvey, but then I said, you know what? Let's take RJ Harvey. Then right about here, RJ Harvey just got cucked by J.K. Dobbins. Jacoby Myers, Chris Godwin, Justin Fields, Josh Downs, Tajay Spears, Christian Kirk, Trevor Lawrence, Tyler Algier, Geno Smith. I do think third quarterback here was fine. Hunter Henry, Tutu Atwell, Theo Johnson, who has the same bye week as Theo Johnson. Oh, yes. Great question. What quarterback did the auto-drafter get? This auto-drafted team, this poor guy. M-Trim got Tyler Shuck. Let's see what the auto-drafter guy got. Solo QB, Tyler Shuck. Chase Brown, Ken Walker, Judkins, Trey Benson, Will Shipley. Actually, reasonable running back room. Chase, Garrett Wilson, J-Mo, Jordan Addison, Darnell Mooney, Trey Harris, Keon Coleman, Kyle Williams, Keenan Allen, and 3 tight ends. This poor fella. That poor fella. Well, I assume something bad happened to him, right? Yeah, I mean, if he had 3 quarterbacks instead of 3 tight ends, I would say he's just as live as anyone else. Are the Jags this year's Broncos running back debacle from last year? No one talks about how they could all just suck and split time. I mean, I'd have a hard time imagining it, but crazier things have happened. The tornado got him. He was drafting in a tornado and didn't hear the sirens. Imagine the dopamine. Imagine the insane dopamine. You're checking your pods. You roll it over. It's week 2. The Tyler Shuck team got out of the pod. You are against the Tyler Shuck team. You're like, wow. Just my luck. Underdog can introduce small bounties or rewards for users who eliminate popular streamers or influencers during the con. That is a fun idea. I don't know how you implement that in practice, but it is very funny. I like Christian Kirk. He's a professional. My exposure to Christian Kirk will be in this contest, probably not in Best Ball Mania. Yeah. There we go. Imagine losing to the Shuck team. Yeah, that's where the bad beats start. Then you're tilting your face off. All right, boys, I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for hanging out. Make sure before you leave, please like the stream, subscribe to this channel for daily fantasy football videos, and I will be back with all you guys